Hello everyone, GokaiOrange here, back to making videos with my lovely dulcet tones. Today, in honor of it being Edutainment Month, I'll be looking at another edutainment game from the genre's heyday. For those unaware, Edutainment Month is sort of a tradition amongst certain reviewers to look back at edutainment games from their childhood. These include Pushing Up Roses, Pixel Amusement, and of course, Lazy Game Reviews. You'll likely remember my review of Piper not too long ago. While I didn't actually review it for Edutainment Month, it remains one of my longest scripted videos and one of my favorite videos in general. However, I have no nostalgia for this game. I accidentally stumbled across it while browsing YouTube and found it so ridiculous that I had to share it with the world. I've always wanted to review more edutainment games I grew up with, so why not start with a more obscure title? And that game happens to star a certain pink cat. The Pink Panther was a 1963 comedy film centered around the heist of the Pink Panther diamond, named so because of a defect on the inside that resembles a leaping panther. The opening animated segment with an anthropomorphic panther became such a hit with audiences that animated theatrical shorts were created based on the character, directed by former Looney Tunes animators Friz Freleng and Holly Pratt. The success of the shorts led to a slew of syndicated TV series and specials. The one most relevant to the topic at hand is the 1993 version. It was this series that gave Pink an actual voice, provided by Matt Frewer, known for his role as Max Headroom.
Oh man, you're not Max Headroom!
Any questions?
Yeah. Do you think I look like Max Headroom?
Also, he was this guy. The success of the show eventually spawned a few video games, one of which was our topic for today, The Pink Panther's Passport to Peril, released in 1996, developed by Wanderlust Interactive, and published by BMG Interactive Entertainment. The game is notable for being written and partially designed by Emily Kapnick, who would later create As Told by Ginger for Nickelodeon, and the more recent Splitting Up Together for ABC. Pink himself is voiced by Michael Sinter-Nicholas, best known for his roles as Dean Venture from the Venture Brothers, Leonardo from the 2003 iteration of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Mikey Simon from Kappa Mikey.
No biggie, I'm a pretty resourceful cat. Just tell me where the place is, I'll find my own way there.
Under the employment of Inspector Clouseau, Pink is given the task of looking after the sons and daughters of various world leaders and international politicians at the prestigious Camp Chiliwawa, a summer camp so secretive and exclusive, no one knows where it's actually located. The campers include Nigel from England, Chione from Egypt, Young Lee from China, Ananda from Bhutan, Indrani from India, and Kamokin from Australia. Not long after Pink arrives, he is reconnected with genius inventor Von Schmarty, a character from the 93 cartoon, the camp's director, represented here as Little Man, and the Dog Father, alongside his accomplices Pug and Louie, also from the 93 cartoon. Yes, I'm aware the trio originated from the original shorts, but their designs here stem from this version. Dogfather and company are from the Better Camping Bureau, inspecting the place for any violations with clear intent on shutting the place down. Not long after they depart, campers suddenly begin feeling homesick, demanding to be sent home.
I hate this place! It's a rotten dump!
Oh, you couldn't possibly be.
Be quiet! I want to go home to England! England rules! I can't stand it here! It's a rotten dump! A dump! You hear me?
With possible world peace on the line, Pink is tasked with appeasing their sudden homesickness by traveling to their home countries in order to unravel the mysteries unfolding back at camp. Passport to Peril is a point-and-click adventure game, first and foremost, and a very simplified one at that. Most adventure games at the time had various options regarding interaction. These included talking, looking, and taking and using items, which are all common gameplay elements in adventure games. Here, any and all interaction is done by clicking on whatever you want to interact with. Want to talk to someone? Click it. Want to take an item? Click it. Want to use an item on something? Click it. In a way, it reminds me of Sierra's Mixed Up Mother Goose, which used a similar simplification of action commands. Clicking on Pink will open up his inventory, which you can cycle through one item at a time. Click the item you want to use, and click it on the thing or person you want to use it on. Standard stuff. While inventory item puzzles are a thing in this game, they never get overly complicated or difficult. It mostly boils down to, character needs something, give character what they want, and they'll give you an item you need in return.
Hey!
What? It's synthetic!
Each country you visit has a certain objective you need to complete before you can progress. For example, Pink travels to England to bring back one of Nigel's prized possessions in an attempt to ease his homesickness.
Pretty sneaky, Nigel. Mr. Guy Fawkes, I presume?
Then hightails it to Egypt in search of Chione after she attempts to escape home on one of Von Schmarty's inventions.
Have you seen her?
No.
Do you know where she might be?
No.
Can you think of anyone that might be able to help me?
Well, no.
Thanks. You've been very helpful.
Really?
No.
After visiting a few countries, Pink will be summoned back to camp, where the next objective will be given. Repeat this a few times and you've got a game. The educational aspect basically boils down to social studies. As Pink visits countries, there will be various people he can talk to that teaches you certain aspects of that country's cultures.
I sweep before I step, so that I might not kill any insects. I cover my nose and mouth, so that I might not accidentally suck in any living creature and cause it harm. In my religion, we believe to kill anything at all is wrong.
How about killing time? Is that okay?
I have to ask.
And don't think they sugarcoat anything to make it appropriate for kids either.
Please! There is still very much discrimination here, particularly against women of all castes. In this village, it is considered inappropriate for women to disrobe to bathe. Only the men should take off their clothes and bathe in the pond.
It was not so long ago that white men took our children from us, forced us to live on reserves, took us there in chains, beat us for speaking our language, and for practicing our religions, infected us with their foreign diseases, broke our spirit.
In addition, Pink is given a Pink Digital Assistant, or PDA for short, that gives players more information about certain topics in that country. These include arts, food, cities, people, nature, clothing, history, and religion. By right-clicking on certain objects, you'll be given a link to its corresponding article in the PDA, accompanied by a sometimes snarky description.
This man is a news vendor. He sells papers. You can't see behind his counter, but he's actually wearing a skirt. This is a yak. It's a hairy ox who likes snow, high elevations, and Love Boat reruns. This Indian woman is a farmer. The bracelets on her arms are called bangles. The red dot between her eyes is a bindi. And those fleshy things at the end of her legs, they're called feet.
The game also introduced me to the country of Bhutan, a country that, until very recently, remained secluded to outsiders for hundreds of years. It's the only non-hostile country without diplomatic relations with the US. The country didn't allow televisions until 1999, and not to mention, their flag has a freaking dragon on it. They were also kinda infamous for marginalizing minorities from Nepal, and they didn't start doing something about it until 2016, just 3 years ago. In fact, according to the game's research director, Paul Golan, when he met with some Bhutanese representatives from the UN, they requested the minorities not be mentioned at all. However, this being an edutainment game that wasn't afraid to hold back, the PDA still included an entire section dedicated to the issue. Just goes to show you how important minorities are to the world at large. Easily one of the biggest selling points was the game's music video segments. At certain parts of the game, a music video will play that corresponds to the current country being visited. These usually focused on a specific topic that was being discussed prior to the music video. I'm not gonna lie when you can see the Schoolhouse Rock influence. Jared Faber, a frequent collaborator with Kapnick, was responsible for most of the compositions. Faber brings quite a wide variety of music. There's jazz.
It was the 5th of November, 1605. Man, King James was mighty lucky just to be alive. The Roman Catholics were displeased with his dealings. I guess you could say they had more than had feelings.
Gospel.
Now the ancient Egyptians had a way to preserve a body for the afterlife. Embalming a body was the way to begin, and for that you need a ritual nerve.
rock.
Embrace technology, some people urge. With the Western world, they believe we should merge. Life is not a race and we're not behind. We'll modernize our country when we feel it's time.
And even disco.
My Panther friend, I don't want to shock ya, but what I'm about to tell you might rock ya. Ow, well, there's long time been our tradition. We call it the caste system.
While I enjoy all the songs, there are two that stand out to me. The first is Taj Mahal, which tells the story of Shah Jahan and his desires to build a final resting place for his wife via power ballad. It's a very powerful song that tells the story rather well. I mean, just listen to these lyrics.
He built a final resting place, as stunning as his lost wife's face, a monument to honor her grace. He built the Taj Mahal.
Also, tell me if the singer here sounds familiar. The connections just keep growing, man. The other song is Dreamtime, a song all about the Aboriginal Dreamtime. This song has some of the best visuals in the game, with stylized animal designs, a mini-story about passing down traditions, and various abstract effects. The game did eventually get an official soundtrack release, though it's a bit on the pricey side. Still, this soundtrack is great, and I'm not afraid to admit that I've learned to sing quite a few of them.
Bring her a souvenir, she will never forget you. How about this one? My panther went to Egypt and all he brought me was this crummy t-shirt.
Passport to Peril features a cast of very memorable characters that Pink comes across. Expect to find at least one particular character that stands out from the rest in each country you visit. Take for example, Mouth from Egypt. Mouth is practically batshit insane, driven crazy from thirst.
Parch, like a piece of old paper, drier than my mother-in-law's rump roast. My throat is the desert is my throat.
He is Pink's only way of reaching the Nile, so you basically have to bend to his every need in order to prepare for the journey.
Okay, Mouth. You wanted food, I brought you food. You wanted a rug, I brought you a rug. I've done everything you've asked. Now would you please help me get to the banks of the Nile?
Then when you land in Bhutan, Pink ends up helping an archery team win a tournament in front of Bhutan's king. At this point in the game, Pink is trying to reach India to fulfill a request for Indrani, so the king offers him a ride in his helicopter. Only problem? Someone stole the rotor.
Someone stole the royal rotor.
Stole?
Well, it's missing. We can't fly without it.
Eventually, Pink discovers that the perpetrator was the head of the archery team that Pink helped. And what feels like the start of a budding bromance turns into a what the fuck situation.
I didn't want you to leave.
I'm touched.
How did this guy steal the rotor? He never left his position between the king's arrival to the moment the rotor was stolen. I'm not saying an accomplice was involved, but I still call bullshit on this whole ordeal. Once you do arrive in India, you eventually reach a village in search of a ride to Indrani's hometown of Varanasi. There you meet a girl where this happens.
Hi, I'm Chamunda. That's another name for Durga, the warrior goddess. Mother!
Yes, dear.
We need some milk for tonight's supper.
Of course, dear.
Would you like to milk, Mother?
Oh, I don't know.
Milk the cow!
I'm milking.
It comes right out of nowhere, but what do you expect from the country that makes those creepy YouTube cartoons? Also, throughout your journey, Dogfather will have Pug and Louie follow Pink around, trying to stop him from saving the camp. This results in them hijacking Pink's plane twice.
If you're out here and he's out here,
yeah,
then who is flying the plane?
Sorry!
The confrontation in Egypt over some salad.
So what? You're trying to, tempt me with the salad, man? Is that what's going on?
No, Louie, it's so dangerous.
And a Hong Kong dubbed fight in China.
Blinded! I am blinded, you dirty panther. I cannot see.
Alright, I'm about to spoil the hell out of this game at this point. So if you're watching this live and don't want to be spoiled, I'd suggest ducking out. If you're watching this later, skip ahead to this section of the video. Everyone else, get ready for the roller coaster that is Passport to Peril. As the game progresses, the campers not only hate the camp more, they begin hating each other.
I hate people from your country.
My country is better than your country.
People from your country are dumb.
People from your country are ugly.
Considering these kids have parents in very high places, this obviously spells disaster for the world at large. With each return to camp, the state it's in gets progressively worse. Campers are fighting, the camp director is losing his mind, and Von Schmarty is becoming more and more desperate to figure out what the hell is happening.
They are angry and hateful. Something is very wrong. You must get to the bottom of this.
Nigel doesn't recognize his most prized possession.
What's this?
That's your old friend. Guy Fawkes.
Von Schmarty suddenly turns on Pink.
You want to be the big man? You go ahead. You don't need my help. You never listen to me anyway. I'm through helping you. Leave me alone.
And the camp director seems to have been beaten. Eventually you discover that not only is Dogfather actively trying to shut the camp down, he's wanting to, and I can't believe I'm saying this, turn the property into a fast food joint. Hilarious? Yes. Confusing as fuck? Also yes. So, how does Dogfather accomplish this task? Does he entice the kids with free burgers if they say they hate camp? Does he threaten them with minimum wage jobs if they don't comply with his demands? No! He kidnaps them, and replaces them with robotic duplicates. Duplicates designed to hate camp so it'd be easier to shut Chili Wawa down.
Holy socks and sweaters! It's worse than I expected!
This might seem like another curveball, but this was actually foreshadowed very early on. Pink finds a robot hand in the storage shed. Young Lee has a radio frequency when he speaks. And of course, all the short-circuiting. This eventually culminates in the final visit to camp.
We're just hanging out! Is it full yet?
Try and catch me. You're it.
Rated E for everyone! But seriously, who thought this was a good idea? This is less endgame and more Gygus. So yeah, Chiliwawa has entirely gone to shit. The robots are falling apart, Dogfather's ready to begin tearing the camp down, and it's here where we find out that the director has been blackmailed into helping out with Dogfather's scheme.
I had to go along. He blackmailed me. He said he would turn the children into dog burgers, I swear.
Holy that's cold.
At first, Dogfather plays the innocence card and demands proof of his intentions.
You're gonna get locked away for this.
Oh, yeah? You can't prove nothing.
Can you?
Now, over the course of the game, you'll find various clues that lead up to the final act, such as a grammatically incorrect forged letter from Championship speller Nigel.
What's this? Dear Mummy and Fafa, I hate camp. I am miserable and I want to come home. Please come and get me your sad son, Nigel. Look, I found this postcard. It's signed Nigel, but it's filled with spelling mistakes. And Nigel's spelling is usually meticulous.
Yeah, and look, it's a postmark. It's dated before the camp even opened.
A letter from the real Chione telling her parents she's having fun at camp.
I can decode it for you. It says, I am happy. She's having fun.
Fun? That doesn't make any sense. Von Schmarty said she was miserable.
A pamphlet regarding Dogfather's dog burger conglomerate.
Cutthroat entrepreneur scores prime real estate. Huh. The notorious DOG has struck again, this time ousting longtime residents of Happy Farm's retirement home from their sprawling acreage. He's unstoppable. Once he has his mind set on a property for his dog burger restaurant, you may as well pack your bags.
And a robot head found in a supply shed.
I better take one of these for evidence.
With their backs against the wall, Dogfather and company try to capture Pink before he can rat them out. Upon hiding in the supply shed, he finds one of Von Schmarty's vacuums he was using at the start of the game and faces off against our antagonists.
Marco?
Hello.
After they're disposed of, Pink drains the lake and frees the kids and Von Schmarty, leading to one final musical number.
We were trapped in a bubble, but now we're free.
With that, the game ends. Or does it? With Pink's mission complete, Clouseau congratulates him on a job well done and proceeds to give him his next assignment.
Assignment entails high combat, espionage, and fish sticks on Wednesdays.
Fish sticks on Wednesdays?
That's right, Panther. Undercover lunch lady.
You can imagine how well this goes over with Pink.
I've already ordered your hairnet. It's a cutting-edge school. They've implemented the spork. Close-minded Panther, a job is a...
Job!
Passport to Peril is a fun, albeit fairly easy adventure game. If you know what you're doing, you can beat this in roughly 2 hours. In spite of the short game length, there's plenty to like about it. The game's writing is sharp and witty, the cast does a great job with the script, Michael Sinter-Nicholas is always a delight to listen to, and the music is memorable and catchy. The graphics are very pleasing to the eyes. The classic characters manage to make the transition to SVGA graphics, and the backgrounds vary between bright and colorful to moody and atmospheric. As a licensed Pink Panther game, it's easily one of the better Pink Panther games out there. As edutainment, it manages to balance out between educational and fun. The PDA makes learning various aspects of each country a nice little experience, and most importantly, it treats itself as a game first and an educational tool second. There are no forced stops to quiz the player on what they've learned, just a cast of characters who are ready to give you little nuggets of information. Hands down, one of my favorite things about this game is its subtle message regarding national and racial tolerance. Camp Chiliwawa is basically a kid's stand-in for the United Nations, the homesickness plotline has elements of national superiority, and even the credits song mentions how everyone is basically the same on the inside. It's a very powerful message that still resonates today. A sequel to this game was released in 1998, called Pink Panther and Hocus Pocus Pink. The game picks up not long after the conclusion of Passport to Peril, and sees Pink once again traveling the globe. I might come back and review this game at a later date, as I also have fondness for this game too. Sadly, Passport to Peril and Hocus Pocus Pink are not available on sites like Steam or GOG, although there is demand for it in the forums. I'll leave a link in the description for the forum post. It'd be great to see these games get a digital release. If you want to get a physical copy, eBay and Amazon are your best bet, although prices will vary considerably. Thanks for watching, and I'll leave you with more of my favorite lines from this game.
This is a sword. It's wielded in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms and used to cut the grass.
I was in the original cast of Les Miserables.
That was beautiful.
Technically, any dead body that still has skin on it is a mummy.
Where did you learn so much about this?
From my mummy.
This may sound like a silly question, but...
Do I have a magic lamp? You just saw Aladdin, and you're looking for your very own genie, complete with a name, voice, talent. Welcome to reality.
I'm looking for a girl.
Aren't we all, my friend? Aren't we all?
Ooh, what is this? Yak butter?
Close. It's I can't believe it's not yak butter. Who needs all those extra calories?
Thanks. Aren't you Jackson?
Indeed I am, sir. My full name is Michael Cuthbert Jackson, but please, don't ask me to do Billie Jean.
Don't even think of waiting 10 seconds to pull the cord either. So you don't get stuck in the plane, I mean. Don't even think of it.
I'm not thinking at all. I'm completely blank.
Me too.
This man is growing rice in the same fashion as his parents' parents, and his parents' parents' parents, and his parents' 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 parents, and his parents' 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 parents, and parents' 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 parents, and his parents' 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 parents.
GokaiOrange!